All right, so we're going to be building on this discussion about loops, right? So this is always just a supplemental video to go along with our lecture slideshow. Okay, so what is a loop, right? It's a repetition of a block of code until its condition is no longer true. One of the three core structures in programming. Okay, and then how do you enter a loop? To enter a loop, you need the control variable. Okay, you want to make sure you set it with the value that can be used to check the conditional statement. And then how do you stay inside the loop? Well, so long as the conditional statement is true, the loop will continue. Okay, and then how do you exit the loop? This is when the condition is false, right? So if I'm hungry, I'm going to continue eating. If I don't feel hungry, then I stop eating, right? Things like that, okay? So let's just take a look at some of these loops, right? So we have a while loop here. All right. This is the code associated with it. All right, so we initialize our control variable to be 1. And we say while the control variable is less than 10, we're going to continuously loop through this loop. And I have my incrementer inside of the loop. Okay, so make sure you have your control variable initialized, you have your loop, and then also you need to make sure that you're modifying your control variable inside of your loop. That is one of the most essential things, is to make sure that your control variable is being modified inside the loop. Otherwise, this will continuously run with nothing being changed, right? So make sure that your loop is always being incremented. All right, so here's some pseudocode for you, right? So this is going in reverse order. If I wanted to start at 10, going back to 0 by that subtraction of 1, and then this is going in a positive direction if I want to start at 1 and go all the way up to 10, okay? And then with the set no value, as we've discussed, right, we've seen plenty of examples in the slideshow, so here's just some pseudocode associated with it, right? So I have something called user var, where the user is going to enter a number, and I say, while that number is greater than 10, I want to put it to the output, and here is my control update to the control variable one more time, where I say user var is going to be that next input. As long as the user puts in a value greater than 0, this will continue to run until they type in a negative number, then it will not run. Okay, let's take a look at this example here. All right, so I have an integer x, and I'm saying while x is less than 5, then I'm going to continuously add in values, right? I'm going to continuously add x plus 1, and then I'm going to put this output, right? So here is another one, another loop that I've created, but instead of using a set no value, I have these counter numbers that I have here, right? X starts at 0, and I'm starting x at 0 there, and I say while it's less than 5, while it's less than or equal to 5, I'm going to continuously add 1. All right, so that's how we can use these while loops. All right, now let's take a look at for loops. Okay, so for loops, we don't do that set no portion, right? All we do is the counting. All right, so here's my loop. I have x equal to 1. I say while x is less than 10, then I want to add 1 each time to x, right? So this is my basic for loop. I have my control variables defined. I have the for loop information here, as you can see. And there's no need to update it, right? Everything is handled in a single for loop. So that's why people prefer to use for loops, because it just makes everything easier. It just makes everything simpler compared to this while loop. This is the code for a while loop compared to the for loop, okay? So take a look at this. And then take a look at our decision diamond here. I have all the information put into the diamond, which is what I expect to see for you guys when you're working on your assignments, okay? And then our nested loops, right? So let me zoom out a little bit so maybe we can see it. We have to zoom in again just to make sure we see everything, right? So we saw nested loop in the slideshow. Okay, so I have this prime variable c. I have a condition here that I want to get through. Here I'm doing some variable assignment, excuse me, and another condition, right? So what was the example that we saw? We had a test, and we needed to go through the number of tests on the outer layer, and on the inside we went through the number of questions. Okay, so this is an example of that. If I scroll over here, we have this example here where I say if x is less than 10, if this is true, then I'm going to put that x value to the output. I said y equal to 2, and I said while y is less than 10, I'm going to continuously run, right? How did I know that this was a while loop? Remember, if it's a for loop, I'm going to have my initializer on the inside of this diamond and the incrementer all inside of this diamond. Okay, so these are while loops because all I have here is just that this condition must be met, which is that y and x must be less than 10. So these are some examples down here with some pseudocode. Okay, so I'm going to just share these with you guys so you can take a look. I would suggest pausing the video, just taking a look at what this is doing exactly. All right, we have a nested loop example. We have the while loop example with the accumulator, and the for loop example with an accumulator. All right, so I would suggest taking a look at these a little bit closer, understand exactly what it's telling us, what it's doing. And if you have any questions, please make sure to email me or message me on Canvas. Thank you guys.